have decided to turn this part of this design, his belly, into a vinyl design with glitter and confetti inside. So you don't have to do it this way. You can just go ahead and stitch it as is, have your fabric down, do your zigzag, and call it a day. Or you can jazz it up some more and add some clear vinyl and some glitter or confetti in there. So all you're gonna do is you're gonna do it like normal, where you add a piece of fabric down. I tried to just stick with a more basic fabric because I want my glitter and confettis and whatever I'm putting inside to really show. So I just used this gray and I cut me a piece of clear vinyl. I like to use the 12 gauge clear vinyl from JoAnns. It comes on the big long rolls that are over with like the upholstery fabric. So that's where you can find it. I've tried out 8 gauge before. The 12 gauge is definitely my favorite and I feel like it holds up the best. So anyways, what you're gonna do is cut you a piece. I always like to cut it larger than the area. And you're just gonna grab you some of the little confettis that you wanna put in there. And I just like to place them in the middle. So I'm gonna do some Frankenstein heads. I'm gonna add like some little spider webs in there. Let's see, I'm gonna put an eyeball. Let's see what else I can put in there. We'll put another eyeball and maybe a few more spider webs. And you're just gonna lay your vinyl back over. If you want to tape it, you can, but you don't have to. I just kind of hold mine in place while it's stitching. So just a second and I'll show you how it is on the machine. All right, so now I have my design back on my machine and you can see that I also taped around. I just thought that this might be, you know, a little bit easier for some of you that are just starting out with doing this. So I have my clay pieces in the middle. I've got my vinyl taped around to kind of hold it in place. And what you're also going to want to do is you're going to want to back up a step. So you're going to want to go back to your tack down stitch because you're going to want to tack down the vinyl first. Also, another tip is you want to slow your machine down to around 400 or 500 because once you start stitching, your confetti is going to start bouncing around. All right, so here it is. It's going to be tacking down. If you start to see some of your confetti come out, then just go ahead and take it off your machine and kind of bounce your confetti back down. So now that you have the tack down stitch completed, you're going to want to remove your tape. And it's okay if it leaves a little bit of residue because we're going to cut this piece of vinyl off anyways. It might be better to use the painter's tape, which I typically do use if I'm taping stuff down, but I just didn't have it on hand right now. All right, so I've got that done. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to just cut it like I normally would cut fabric. And this one's going to be a zigzag so you can cut it all the way to the stitch. All right, so I've got that completed. Next, it's going to go back on my machine and it's going to stitch the zigzag. All right, so it's back on my machine now. I've got the vinyl extra trimmed off. I've got the vinyl piece tacked down. I've got my little fun confettis on the inside, and it's time to stitch the zigzag step. I still have my machine slowed down to around 400 because your little fun confettis are still going to kind of bounce around. If you find that one has bounced close to the edge, you can always stop your machine, take it off, and kind of, you know, bounce your frame or your hoop down to get that confetti out of the way. Alright, so here it is, stitching the zigzag step. All of those look good so far. It doesn't look like any of the confettis are going to get hit with the needle. You could even speed your machine up a little bit if you wanted to. So I'm moving it up to about 600 right now. So here is the finished product. We've got our vinyl tacked down. We've got our fun little glitter confettis in there. It's almost like this silly little monster ate Frankenstein, and some eyeballs and some spider webs for lunch. Super cute.